Welcome back. We are continuing our exploration into the world of iPods, but only half of Apple's music magic is the iPod itself. The other half of the story is iTunes. iTunes is so much more than a simple music management application. I want to look at it now, and you should note that everything I'm going to show you works exactly the same in Windows or on a Mac. I'm going to show you on my MacBook. Now, iTunes is our music management tool. We have a library of songs. When you first install it or first activate iTunes, it'll look on your computer, and if you have digitized music on your computer, it will find it and it will organize it for you. It will also allow us to play back any of the music on our computer. So if our computer's hooked up to speakers, we just choose the song or the playlist, click play, and it'll play through our speakers. Or if we have, say, AirTunes set up so it's distributed through our whole home, we can also manage that through iTunes. If you don't have a lot of music on your computer already and you need to convert all of your music from CD, it will take care of that process for it as well. Then it also allows us to organize those songs into playlists. And playlists are very important because with some of the iPods, we can't load all of our music onto the iPods, so we just have to select certain types of music for that iPod. For example, our shuffle is only for workouts and that sort of music, so we create playlists of nice, fast music for us to work out to, and we load that over when we sync our iPod, and I will show you that a little bit later. But it's not just music that we can manage on the iPod. We can also manage other types of content as well, such as video and movies. I've downloaded several episodes of our TV show here. Now we can view them right within iTunes, we can manage them, and we can load them onto our iPod from here. Podcasts are one of my favorite areas. These are streaming content that can be audio and video that we can subscribe to like a magazine, covering a whole world of content that's constantly changing. So we can download all of our different podcasts to iTunes and then transfer it onto our iPod. And while we're speaking about transferring things onto our iPod, the whole idea of syncing iTunes and the iPod is very important. So I've got one of the iPods right here. I've got the iPod Nano here. So when I'm ready to connect that to my computer and ready to sync it, I just basically plug it in. As soon as I plug it in, iTunes recognizes that there's an iPod attached, and the iPod recognizes that it's attached to a computer, and it tells me not to do anything until we properly disconnect it from the computer. But what's happening now is you can see on the screen that iTunes has recognized that there's an iPod attached, and it's brought up a management screen that will allow me to control all of the content on this iPod. If we look at the bottom of the screen, we see exactly what's on the iPod now represented graphically as far as how much audio content, how much video, how many photos I have stored, and then other information, which is my calendar and database information. And I can see how much empty space I have on my iPod. So this gives me a good graphical image of how much space I have and what I can load on if I want to bring some more content onto it. Then I actually manage all of that content in each of these tabs. I go into my music area here, and say I had connected an iPod Shuffle. I can't load all of my music on a Shuffle, but I could just select the appropriate playlists from here to load onto the Shuffle. Similarly, if I want to include any of the video, I can choose that here. And if I don't want to sync all the movies, but just selected ones, I can choose exactly which episodes I want to sync and transfer over as far as all of my content. Then I simply click on Apply, and now iTunes will sync with my iPod, and it will move that content over. It's a very elegant and simple process. So managing all of your content is easy using iTunes. Now, speaking of content, the iTunes Music Store is a place that you'll go to gain access to a lot of content. Here you can go to buy songs. Actually, if we take a look at the different areas they have, we can buy music, we can buy music videos, which is becoming increasingly popular with all of the different video-enabled iPods. And you notice this interface here. We're still in iTunes, we're still in the music management tool, but it looks much more like a web browser, and it acts like a web browser for us. We're actually on the internet going to the iTunes store, and so we navigate back and forth as we would within a web browser, using the navigation tools at the top or clicking on links within the iTunes Music Store itself. We can also purchase audiobooks, which is one of my favorite things to do. I love listening to books when I'm driving around on fishing trips, and you can have self-help books, you can have business books, you can have fiction, you can have nonfiction. I just finished listening to Bill Clinton read his autobiography, and I quite enjoyed it. So there's a nice selection of different audiobooks for you to listen to. And then, my favorite area, podcasts. We click on podcasts, and for the most part, podcasts are free. You can scroll through the different content that's available, as well as the most popular content. And actually, CBC Radio does some of the most popular podcasts, including the Vinyl Cafe, which I subscribe to. If you happen to like that type of humor, it's a great thing to subscribe to. And you can listen to that on the drive into work instead of listening to regular radio if you want. Down below, we have some featured video podcasts, and that shows us what video podcasts are available in different genres, such as comedy, music, music, news, sports, and of course technology. So pick the area that you're interested in, go in, find a few shows that you want to subscribe to, and they will be automatically downloaded onto your computer, and then you can sync them to your iPod for you to listen to at your leisure. Now, if you want to purchase some music, the purchasing process is straightforward and simple. Say you want to buy this new Britney Spears album, you click on it. You have to open up an iTunes account, which you give them your credit card information. It's like opening an account at a store. And then you can either purchase the whole album for a fixed price, or you can just go down and you can purchase individual songs for different rates as well. Once you find the album that you want to buy or the song, you click Buy Album. You're going to have to sign in with your password. And then that'll log you into your account, and then they'll ask you, are you sure you want to buy this music? And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, me buying Britney Spears, I think I'll take a cancel on that. But if I wanted to buy it, I just click purchase, and then it will be downloaded, and it will go automatically into my iTunes library so that I can sync it to my iPod and enjoy the music. And there is one other option that you should consider as far as purchasing, and that's over in the quick links area, buying iTunes gifts. If you go into this area here, you can either buy gift cards, you can email gift certificates to friends and family, or you can set up allowance for your kids so that even if your kids don't have a credit card, they can purchase a certain amount of music every month, and that's a great Christmas gift for if you don't know what to get your kids. Buying iTunes gifts is a great way to go. You know, iTunes is really a magical application. I mean, what other application lets you create playlists, purchase music, download and listen to your music, subscribe and download podcasts, play movie trailers, convert music, synchronize with your iPod, and regardless if you're on a Mac or PC? iTunes really does it all. It is a supernatural experience that I'm getting used to. Blogs, podcasts, streaming video, you can find it all on our new website. Check out dottotech.com.